Last September, we pointed the camper south, from Ancona to Igoumenitsa, overnight on the ferry, and somewhere between sea and sky, it already felt like we were leaving more behind than just Italy. Lefkada welcomes us quietly. Unreal blue water caused by the limestone cliffs, reflecting the light. It almost doesn't look real. No rush, just the road unfolding in front of us. After a boat trip from Ancona in Italy to Igoumenitsa, Greece, we stayed on Lefkada for a few days. But now we are on our way to the most famous archaeological site in Greece. Olympia. In 776 BC, the first recorded Olympic Games took place right here. No stadium lights, no national anthem, just men running barefoot on packed earth. For over 1,000 years the games continued here, until they were banned by the Roman Emperor Theodosius in 393 AD. And standing there, you don't just think about sports. You think about continuity, about how long humans have been chasing something greater than themselves. Further south, Pylos. The Neo-Castro fortress guarded the entrance of the Navarino Bay. A strategic point fought over by Venetians, Ottomans, and later involved in the famous naval battle of Navarino in 1827. History doesn't sit quietly here, it layers. Methoni felt even older. The massive Venetian fortress stretches into the sea. Once one of the most important refueling stops between Venice and the eastern Mediterranean. Now it's just waves touching centuries-old walls. Mystras, a Byzantine city built into the mountainside in the 13th century. It began as a fortress built by the Franks after the Fourth Crusade, but it didn't stay Frankish for long. Soon it became one of the last great strongholds of the Byzantine Empire. Emperors were crowned here, scholars gathered here, philosophers taught here. One of them, Mystras Planton, helped reintroduce ancient Greek philosophy to the West. Ideas that would later influence the Italian Renaissance. And churches still covered in faded frescoes. And higher up, the palace of the despots. From here they ruled the Peloponnese. Mystras was abandoned in the 15th century after the Ottoman conquest. People moved down to what is now modern Sparta. But the city never truly disappeared. And now we are on our way to Gythio. In ancient time it was the port of Sparta. Legends say that Paris and Helen of Troy may have spent their first night together here. So you see, history and myth blend easily in Greece. Tell me about this. Where are we now?
We are Gythio.
In the south of the Peloponnese.
Here.
Beautiful town. The weather is a little bit overcasted for a nice place for dinner, isn't it? Okay, we do. So today we are leaving Gythio for a round tour in the Mani. And the Mani is a special insult, point, the southern point of the Peloponnese. And the scenery is totally different, hardly growing any trees, and you have all fortifications, little towns there are as fortifications. And in the 4th century, in the 60s, those families who live there, they fight to each other with guns and so on. But we will see. We have a beautiful day, beautiful cloudy day, but also sunny spells. So that's also good for filming. And now, come with us, take a look how beautiful it is here. The Mani Peninsula felt different. Driving into the Mani, the landscape slowly changes. The mountains grow harsher, the earth turns dry and pale. Olive trees cling to the rocks as if they've been fighting the wind for centuries. This is one of the most rugged parts of Greece. For centuries, families here built tall, small tower houses, not for the beauty, but for protection. Clan rivalries and small wars once shaped daily life in these regions. You can still see the towers scattered across the hills. Silent remembered of a time when every family defended its own ground. Mani feels raw, unpolished, almost untouched by time. So we're waiting for a cup of coffee, but as you can see, it's not always and everywhere busy and crowded. Agreed. And somewhere along a quiet road, we found a tiny Orthodox chapel. It was built entirely from roof natural stone, simple on the outside, almost blended into the landscape. But inside, everything changed. The walls were covered with frescoes, saints, deep blues, warm reds, golden halos. Paintings that had watched over this place for centuries. Candlelights flickered across the stone walls. No voices, no footsteps. Just that quiet feeling you sometimes find in old places. We hadn't planned to stop here, but moments like that are often the ones you remember the longest. Monemvasia, a medieval fortress town carved into a rock rising from sea. The name literally means single entrance. You pass through one gate and the modern world disappears. You walk through narrow passages where the sun only touches the stone for a few hours a day. Cats sleeping on warm steps, wooden doors faded by salt and time. And everywhere that deep blue of the Adriatic Sea just beyond the walls. Venetian houses, Byzantine churches, narrow stone alley glowing in the evening light. It doesn't feel reconstructed, it feels lived in. And standing there with the wind coming straight from the open water, you realize this place was never meant to be easy to reach. It was meant to endure. And when the evening lights turn the stone walls golden, Monemvasia feels less like a monument and more like a living memory.
Lara, Placa. Ah bah oui, c'est celui-là.
Placa.
Ah, c'est beau là.
Yeah. You want me to stop?
Bah ouais.
Oh, here. You can stop here.
Attends, je vais aller voir.
Have a look. And then Epidavros. Home to one of the best preserved ancient theatres in the world. Built in the 4th century BC, with acoustics so precise that even a whisper from the stage can be heard at the very top. They say it was part of a healing sanctuary, dedicated to Asclepios, the god of medicine. People came here seeking cures. And somehow, standing in that theater, you feel something, not magic, but harmony. Delphi. The ancient Greek believed this was the center of the world. They placed a stone here, the Omphalos, the navel of the earth. For centuries, leaders and kings came here to consult the oracle of Apollo. Her words shaped wars, colonies, empires. look out over the valley, with the mountains behind you, you understand why they choose this place.
Ce que vous voyez ici, ce sont les météores.
And then Meteora. Monasteries built on top of natural sandstone pillars. In the 14th century, monks climbed up using ropes and nets. No roads, no machinery, just fate. At one point, 24 monasteries stood here. Today, only 6 remain active. And even now, I still don't understand how to build them. But maybe that's the beauty of it. Nafplio was her ending.
C'est quoi là-bas? Et quoi en gros?
The first capital of modern Greece after independence in 1828. Elegant, Venetian, lively. Music in the streets, people dancing in evening light. No dramatic final, just that quiet feeling. We wandered. And that was enough.